Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you how to turn on or off and edit the storm alert on your Garmin Instinct Crossover watch. I'm using the solar version. It shouldn't matter whether you've got the solar or non-solar version. I'll also say that this is a feature that is not unique to the Garmin Instinct Crossover. It's on the Instinct 1, Instinct 2, Phoenix, Forerunner, so on and so forth. Most of the Garmin devices that have a barometer sensor will have this feature on them. This is also one of those things that I'm going to show you the way I go to get to it. There are multiple ways to get to this setting on the watch, and this is also a setting you can control on the Garmin Connect app on your cell phone. I'm going to show it to you on the watch, and then we'll take a look at how to do it on your cell phone as well. The easiest way is if you press and hold the bottom right button on the watch, it will take you to the different alerts and time settings that are on the watch. The reason I like going there instead is I know you can access it through your barometer, but your barometer glance is not something that you have to have installed on the watch. You can choose to use the barometer glance or not. You can choose to have the barometer in your control wheel or not. But the one thing that will always be there is if you press and hold the bottom right button, you will have alerts, and you cannot delete that from that bottom right button option. And under alerts, you will find your storm alert. Now, when you pressed and held the bottom right button, if it didn't land you on alerts, it's going to land you on the last option in here that you used. So you might be on alarms or timers. You're just going to simply use the up or down button and cycle through until you get to alerts. You'll notice in my case, it'll show you the alerts that you have on. Mine says hourly alert on. Yours might just say set an alert. Yours might have sunrise, sunset alert. You can go in here and we can look at these different alerts. I'm going to press GPS to go into my alerts. In my case, I have the till sunset alert off. I have the till sunrise alert off. I have the storm alert off. And I have the hourly alert on, which is what we were seeing in the prior screen. What we're talking about in this video is the storm alert. So I'm going to go to storm alert. By default, for whatever reason, they have this feature off on the watch from Garmin. This is actually one of my favorite features on the watch. Now, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, it goes off all the time when the weather is not bad. What this alert does is it notifies you whenever there is a sudden change in barometric pressure. Now, a lot of people think that means it's got to be raining. It's not really just rain. A lot of times it will be. Sometimes it can be things like windstorms as well. Maybe you have high winds coming. What it's doing is it's basically just measuring your barometric pressure. If it exceeds a certain amount in a certain amount of time, it lets you know, hey, take cover or be aware that there could be a storm coming. It's a really handy feature if you're out somewhere camping or hiking and you have a sudden change of weather really quick to notify you that maybe you need to get out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in and I'm going to turn it on. You'll notice when we go into the storm alert, you've got a status option up here of off, and there's nothing else that's showing. You can barely see rate down here, but it's kind of grayed out. When you turn the storm alert on, all of a sudden this becomes available for you to adjust. This is one of the big benefits of the Garmin watches over other watches like the Suunto Core. The Suunto Core and your Casio watches have a storm alert feature as well, but they don't give you the ability to adjust the rate of what is going to have to occur in order for you to get that storm alert. On the Garmin watches, you can go down to the rate, and you can see that mine is set to where if there is a change of 4 hectopascals per a 3-hour period, notify me of an alert. Now mine's showing hectopascals because that's what I have my barometer set to. If you have your barometer set to inches of mercury or something else, you would see that indication here for your rate. It's going to follow whatever setting you've got for your barometric pressure. When people say they're getting invalid rates, well then go in here and adjust it. So if I start getting some invalid storm alerts, maybe I need to adjust my hectopascal range to be higher. I can press the GPS button and I can go in and adjust it. So in my case, I could go to 4.5 per 3 hour or 5 hectopascals per 3 hour. And you can kind of keep adjusting that until you start getting valid storm rates. The one thing I will say is I have always left mine on the default from Garmin, and I find it to be pretty accurate in terms of storm alerts. If I get that storm alert, chances are later that day, we're going to have some bad weather coming in. Usually it's rain in my case because I don't get a whole lot of wind in my area, but it tends to follow with the storm alert pretty well in my case. So once you've got it set, you can simply press the back button and you have successfully turned on the storm alert. The alert is going to follow whatever alert settings you have on your watch. So if you have the tone on, whenever the storm alert comes on, it will notify you on the screen and you will get a beeping noise on the watch. If you have vibrate on for your alerts, the watch will also vibrate. If you have both tone and vibrate on, it will vibrate and give a beeping noise. And then you can have a silent alert where you don't have alerts, you don't have tone on, you don't have vibrate. It would just show it to you on the screen. So that's how we do it on the watch. Now I'm going to take my cell phone and we're going to go look at the setting on the cell phone. It should be basically the same thing. I'm in my Garmin Connect app. I'm going to go to my Instinct Crossover Solar. We're going to basically follow the same navigation. For the most part, it's under notifications and alerts. You've got one option under here, which is going to be system alerts, and then it's going to be under barometer. Hopefully you're able to see this okay. The only thing under barometer is storm alert. I can choose storm alert. Mine is on because we just set it from my watch, and my watch is connected to my Garmin Connect account. Again, I could click on the rate and I could adjust the rate accordingly. If I wanted to turn off the storm alert, I could simply toggle it off and turn off the storm alert. As with most things on the Garmin watch, I find it a whole lot easier to do it on the cell phone, but I always like knowing how to do it on the watch as well because I'm not one that usually carries my cell phone around on me at all times. Anyway, that's how we turn on and edit the storm alert on our Garmin Instinct Crossover watch. I hope the video helps.